I have a pretty detailed history of sucking and I'm known around town as a bit of a dog. I've had my fair share of porking. I get around. I bang in the day, I bang in the night. I bang to the left, I bang to the right. I bang everything in sight. I have intercourse, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm the champion of fucking. I already won the Nobel Peace Prize, but people still won't believe me. The woke liberals dismiss my 12 methods for fucking as a bunch of gobbledygook. So what I did is I contacted the Guinness Book of World Records to get a plaque to confirm my status as a sex haver. But much to my dismay, I found out that I'm not a record holder. And really, I never was. I couldn't believe it. The Prince of Poon has been dethroned. But that leaves the question, who are these men who truly reached the Hall of Masters and gained the title of top shagger? Today I'm gonna dig through the records and show you the biggest chads of all time, those who have truly mastered the art, so that we may divert our steps towards the path of greatness. Now with these men I'm about to mention, they're not gonna have receipts for every interaction they've had, so their body count is going to be self-reported. But I choose to have faith. Let's start off with the modern names. Russell Brand has slept with 1,000 women, and in the past you can definitely see evidence that he was fucking. But there is one pretty big caveat here. He's British, so he doesn't really count. Previous NBA players Dennis Rodman and Lamar Odom both sport a respectable 2,000 bodies each. It's also important to mention that once you reach this level of shagging, it's impossible to get an exact measurement on your bodies because the number just gets so high and you lose track. Nobody who's really up there keeps track because it's just too much of a hassle. For example, Hugh Hefner, when asked how many women he slept with, he said, "How could I possibly know? Over 1,000, I'm sure." Once you get into the big leagues, all you could really do is ballpark. But I would say that Hugh is lowballing himself a little bit. I think he's got at least 3,000, but that's still not even the top. Charlie Sheen said he's at around 5K. Ric Flair said he's at 10,000. Wilt Chamberlain said he's at 20,000. That is almost a girl for every day that he was alive. That is outrageous. But there is one man who stands above the rest in the modern era. Fidel Castro, the Cuban dictator. With his power, he was able to gerp 2 women a day for over 40 years. It is estimated that he has slept with 35,000 people. See, when you get to the top of the top, the grand masters of fucking, they aren't basketball players or rock stars or actors. They're emperors, conquerors, quite literally kings. I'm not saying that being a tyrant is right, but you can bet your bottom dollar that they fuck. And when digging through history, you can find a good amount of people who beat the names I just listed. But who is the one man who fucked the most? Who is the top shagger of all time? You might know that 1% of the population of the world has the genes of one Genghis Khan. They trace back all the lineage, and this man is a common ancestor of 1 in 100 people. So, is he the GOAT? No, for a couple of reasons. Firstly, most of this man's relations were forced, if you know what I mean, and that doesn't count in my book. I'm looking for fair and square, consensual sex. Any old lad can just run around raping, that's not what we're looking at here. But the second reason Genghis does not deserve the top spot in the Hall of Fuckers is that all of these people have his DNA, but that does not necessarily mean he did all the copulating. Genghis did not grow up a king. He was just a guy for the first part of his life, and then he conquered half the world, and he spent most of his time fighting and strategizing. But his children were raised as princes in this empire that spanned half the globe. And I think that they are the ones responsible for most of the fucking, because back then, it was different. Since they turned 12, they probably had access to an innumerable amount of women to pork. So the man who is the top shagger is not Genghis Khan himself, but his son, Splengis Khan. But I'm trying to beat him. If we factor in what is humanly possible and his lifespan, let's say that Splangus' number is just over 40,000. Let's say that I have about 45 years of fucking time to close the gap between my number and 40,000. So, doing the quick math, that would mean I need about 40,000 more bodies. 45 years is 16,425 days. If I sploink 3 different individuals per day, that would be more than enough. But I think that I can do better. The world record for the amount of times a man ejaculated in 1 hour is 16. By mastering yogic and tantric methods, I would be able to consistently reach 16 orgasms per hour. Would this pose a threat to my body? No, because using these ancient disciplines, one is able to climax without actually shooting a load. By controlling the energy and vibrational frequencies throughout your body, this means I can bang 16 women per hour while still maintaining semen retention and my status as a no-fap warrior. Let's say I dedicate 7 hours a day to this goal, leaving adequate time to eat, sleep, shower, and game. 16 women per hour, 7 hours per day, 16,425 days in total. Using this method, my body count would be 1,839,600. You might ask, how are you going to be able to attract all of these partners? Well, there is a way. K-pop. First, I would have to become Asian, get all the procedures done to look all cute. Then all I have to do is pay some ugly guy to write and produce some catchy songs, get millions of fans, and then fuck all of them. But what I'm thinking about is if it's all worth it. The relentless chase for poon, upping your body count, does it really make you happy? Does it give you fulfillment? Is it not just another temporary escape? A stroke of your ego, a quick nut, and then what? The post-nut clarity hits, and you ask the question, is there really any meaning to any of this? To life? Only to be fooled by your peener once again after it goes away? Is this really a good use of a man's life? Well, there's only one way to find out, and I will be the one to do it.